Hello and welcome to our 12th episode of No Bull. I'm Tim Clark. Today I'm going to talk about why the future of Apple is very much bright, and if you just bought an Apple device, you bet on the right horse. Or did you? After listening to all the technology experts droning on lately about how Apple is facing such a tribulation that they have to turn to making their own silicon chips for Mac computers and all-in-ones, I started to wonder if even though this is a rumor currently, there might be some truth to it. Today I want to drone on myself. Apple has been making the vast majority of money from the iPhone. That is just a fact. And so when they started using the A chips and buying up companies to obtain technology for iOS, it made complete sense. The importance of the iPhone for Apple cannot be overstated. Second to the iPhone, the iPad line is the next most important technology for that company. The iPad is currently the unchallenged champion in the tablet space. Everyone knows that the combination of tightly controlled and closed software, along with hardware that is designed to just work, makes them much more sought after. The other stuff like Apple Watch and iCloud and indeed the MacBook and even the iMac line can't say the same thing. The percentage of users that have Apple desktops and portable full-fledged computers is still and always has been a small slice of the overall computer market. So then, why does this news of Apple thinking about not using Intel for their CPUs have everyone all a shiver and running around like the sky is falling? Well, I guess the answer is that most of the people doing that running around are those that rely on Mac for content creation, like, well, me. I previously stated that I was not worried about the chance that Apple, with all the gusto of someone who is careening towards a brick wall, changes to its own chip made by them and for their own systems. I can admit it has a bit of merit in that it can tightly control the production and design of the chip to make it just work well. It can eliminate supply chain delays and bring costs down. However, I'm not sure if Apple has or is in the process of making a chip that will serve everyone's needs, especially those who are eagerly waiting for the newly announced Mac Pro sometime later this year or next or whenever. The fact that they are in the process, according to Apple, of beginning the planning of the next great Mac Pro tells me it must be built on the Intel platform, unless Tim Cook, our fearless leader at Apple, has been hiding a Mac Pro or two in the closet at Cupertino. Of course, the last time the Mac moved from the PowerPC to Intel, they confirmed they indeed had a fully working system or two just there in those closets for quite a long time. I don't think that anyone could have been more happy than the macintosh crowd, who got an even easier way to crack the non-Mac hardware running on Mac OS due to the standard hardware that was now being utilized in the somewhat great hardware that Apple company was selling back when they made the switch to Intel. That was until the Trashintosh, when they, in their great gusto, completely went off the rails, in my humble opinion. The system had major issues with heating or thermals, and the upgradability was horrible. Now, I love the Mac Pro 2010. It was wonderful, and I used it right up until February of this year. I would still be using it if it was not for Peter Paul Chato, who turned me on to Hackintoshing again. I wish I could get his name right. I did give the Hackintosh a stab back in 2009, but was not convinced I could see the pleasure in keeping up with the issues I faced on a weekly basis back at that time. Now, though, there was light at the end of the tunnel after being stuck with the trash can computer that would not meet my needs and not wanting to wait any longer to hear that Apple decided to just trash the whole Mac ecosystem. Of course, the iMac and iMac Pro are cool too, and gave great hope when they sold really well, and people gave them good reviews. It was, however, followed up by the news that Mac Pros were indeed not going to disappear. There was a plan now being started to give us the Mac Pro users a machine that we wanted. That takes me back to the news of non-Intel chips in Mac computers. Firstly, I'm predicting that this will be more for consumer level stuff, at least initially. The MacBook and MacBook Air seem like a good proving ground for the chip, and then if it is capable, I can see them doing something with the non-Pro iMacs and also just getting everyone on iOS on some sort of portable iPad MacBook system. Virtually an iPad with a keyboard and touch screen. Why, people have been adding Bluetooth keyboards and using a pencil with the iPad for it seems like years. Is it really that big a leap to see more like it coming down the line? So please, Apple, do not make the mistake and eliminate the Intel chips for the video editing, audio recording, and producing crowd. We love our systems when they work and would eat up any new Mac Pro that you throw at us. As for Android, it just does not have the ability to work nicely with all my existing Apple stuff, so it is not for me at this time. Now, Windows as well has no appeal for me. I left Windows a long time ago, and I only bought a one-way ticket. I love macOS and the suite of creativity software that is available and works so well. So Apple will have an interesting event this year when they will likely let us know what the plan really is. Until then, I will happily use my MacBook Pro and Macintosh to do my videos. That's it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and as long as Apple does not flip the switch on my Macintosh, I will respond. See you next time. Hi, if you liked that video, consider clicking on the thumbs up. If for some strange reason you hated it, just don't click at all, or use that other thumbs down button. While you're at it, why not click the red subscribe button? This helps to show support for our content, and someday in the distant future, we may even get accepted into the YouTube monetization program. While you're doing that, how about clicking that icon of a bell? That way you'll get a notification when I upload a new video. I do upload a minimum of one video every week between Sunday and Monday afternoon. I also produce other videos when the idea pops into my head. Thanks for your support, and see you next time here on Noble Tech Talk.